Hey everybody, it's Connor with Metal Inside Me. On today's episode, we interviewed May the Tempest, a metalcore band from Munich, Germany. They've been releasing some very awesome singles, link down below in the description, link to all their stuff down below in the description. So they've been releasing some really cool singles leading up to a full album that they're releasing in March. So we're going to play a clip of their music and then jump on into our interview.
So let's get started. We have May the Tempest here, and if each of you could introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band.
Hi, my name is Lucci, and I'm the shouter and frontman in May the Tempest.
And Patrick, I'm the drummer.
Awesome. And so why don't you guys tell us a little bit about how your band, got together, how it formed. It seems like you guys have a couple EPs from a few years ago. So why don't you tell us the whole history of the band?
So basically, yeah, I started when it started. I wasn't even in the band. That's Patrick's part.
Yeah, I mean, I can kick it off with the basic story. Well, when I first moved to Munich for my studies, being a drummer, I just went to the local music store and thought, hey, I should get in a band, and check the the board with all the little papers and names on it. And then it was my first day. So I just went in there, and there was a little piece of paper where we were looking for a drummer, and I think a guitarist. For a metalcore band. And that's basically when I called up our guitarist, and said, hey, that would be cool to get in a band. And this is how it all started. And then we searched forever for a bassist.
And then I joined
on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a post on Facebook that someone's looking for a bassist, and then I joined. Yeah. And then we recorded the first EP pretty soon after that, and then another EP, the Bitter Taste EP, and then we switched the singer. So now I'm the singer, and we found a new bassist, which is actually the producer of the first two EPs. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since then, we're working on the album that's coming out in March.
Right. So you said that when you found your piece of paper in the music store, it already said that they were looking for a drummer for a metalcore band. And listening to your music, you guys definitely have a distinct metalcore sound. You guys have a lot of consistency across your music. So is the music that you're currently making, is the sound that you currently have like the vision that the band has always had, or is this something that has developed over time?
I think that's developed over time. Yeah. In the beginning of the first EP is completely different, I would say, or at least we all would say, I think, to the stuff that's now coming out. But it's just we didn't say, hey, let's make something other, like let's make this, let's make it more sound like something else. Just went his way, and now it sounds like it sounds. We're pretty
right.
It's good like that. We're happy with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about May the Tempest's writing process, and if there has been any changes in the writing process from the previous stuff to what you're doing now. Fill us in on all that.
I think in the past we didn't write together that much. someone had a full idea, or yeah, no, it changed a lot. Someone had a song idea, like with the Guitar Pro, send the tabs around, and then we all we sat together in the rehearsal room and played it, and then we changed some things. But now with our new bassist who has his own studio where we also rehearsing, yeah, it changed in a way that we still doing. Someone has a idea, and we're working on this together, but we're working on it together in the studio. So we have way more time to do more atmospheric sounds like synths and stuff, which we couldn't do before because we were just guitars and bass and drums in the rehearsing room. So we were working more, yeah, in more detail on the songs.
Right. So I've already gone ahead and said that I thought you guys had a pretty distinct metalcore sound, but I'm curious what you guys think about that. Are you comfortable being fit into the metalcore subgenre, or do you want more latitude than that?
I think this yeah. I think this genre thing is something I didn't really like to put music in general into these classifications. And from my perspective, metalcore is the one that's most fitting, but not necessarily the one that that we have to stick to. And we're doing a lot of the stuff that isn't really classic metalcore. We added a lot of stuff, and I think if you want to be more specific, you could be, but it's kind of the big bucket where everything goes to that sounds like us or a little like us. So metalcore is something I can live with, but in general, it's not something we want to go at. Like we want to do this single style and then nothing else. We just see where it goes, and
yeah,
I think that's our process.
I think we don't really care what it's called, what we're doing. We just do what we're doing, and then
that's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
If someone says metalcore, then okay, it's metalcore. It's what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I would be really interested what each of your musical influences are, because obviously all the influences really affect a musician and how they actually write music and what their music that they write and create sound like. So why don't you guys tell us each of your specific influences, and if you have the knowledge to speak on your bassist and guitarist influences as well, share that with us.
Well, I mean, for me, I was raised by two piano teachers. My influences started right when I was born with pretty classical music, I'd say. Until I was like 12 or something like this, I didn't hear anything else as classic music. But then a lot of German punk stuff, and then I went straight into metalcore, I think, because I found a metalcore band back then. Then I had to listen to metalcore. Yeah, I had to know what I was doing. That was to start with the basic stuff like what's it? Memphis Mayfire, Asking Alexandria, that stuff. And now I'm more into the progressive metal stuff like Tesseract. Even North Lane is one of the best bands for me personally.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I would have to say my father was in a German folk music band, but I think that had no influence on my musical aspirations. Well, I started out with a lot of punk as well, and then went to hardcore punk, and then from hardcore punk I went to melodic death metal. Or melodic metal in general. I heard a lot of In Flames, Amon Amarth, all that stuff, and then that kind of came together. The hardcore punk and the death metal just came together, and what came out is basically metalcore. Is if you cook down everything that I like, you take those fast hardcore punk beats, and you put the sick riffs from metal over it, and that basically you have metalcore then. So quite naturally I landed there, and from our guitarist and our bassist, I know they heard a lot of pop punk in the past, and they still do. They still have a pop punk band right now as sort of their second band. So that's pretty cool as well. And to be honest, I'm a lot into pop punk right now as well. Keeps the mood up, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I have two questions on the topic of lyrics. One is how do you divide up writing lyrics among the band? Is it collaborative or is it just one person? And then additionally, what is your approach to writing lyrics? Is it significant to you that they have some sort of deep emotional meaning, or are you writing more just to fit the song? However you might interpret that question.
I think that also changed a lot, given that I was the bassist and then jumped into the shouting role. In the beginning, I focused more on learning how to shout and how to behave on stage, and didn't really learn how to write lyrics, or didn't really collaborate with the lyrics. But I think now it's way more important to that's what I shout is what I mean, and it's not something someone else wrote, and I can't tell what he means with that. But we work on it, like our guitarist and a clean singer. He writes a lot of texts, and then he shares them with me, and then we talk about it and change some things. And yeah, that's basically how most of the stuff for Rise to Remain was written. But in the future, I think that I will write a little bit more, because now I feel like I know how to, or at least I I have the time to focus about this.
Yeah, of course. So me and Chris both noticed that there's a pretty sharp transition in your band from the previous two EPs to what you're doing now, in terms of your Instagram page started with these new singles. I don't think you have any of your old stuff on there. The
we
single
removed it.
Okay, gotcha. And so the single cover art, it's on point. The marketing, the packaging, the production, everything was really turned up a big notch with these new singles. So was this something intentional where you guys got together and said, hey, we just kind of got to step up all of these small things across the board to look like a more professional band?
Yeah, exactly. We when we switched the singer, we said we want to go, like, start the train. And with our photographer, Josh Wagner, that's one of the best guys in the world. He designs all the stuff, all the the cover artworks, and came up with the concept with the blue color and the flowers, and made this pretty beautiful, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
Absolutely.
We just wanted to do something that's not only appealing to the ear but also to the eye.
Yeah. Connor, did you have another question?
Yeah. So on top of that, what is your current recording process like for these new singles? Are you, as you mentioned, being in the studio, and do you have a specific producer you're working with who mixes and masters your stuff? Talk us through the process of recording each one of these singles and getting it out ready for fans.
The producer is still the same. It's our bassist, so that's pretty convenient. And we can work on it whenever we want to. If we don't want to rehearse, then we can just record. The process of recording these singles took like years, because I don't know, it just took years. We always start with recording the guitars, and then the most work is done when we record the vocals, because we have an idea how we will record it, but while recording it, we realized that we shouldn't maybe record it like this, maybe like maybe differently, and yeah, so most of the time goes into vocal recording.
And then arranging everything. I think,
especially for the clean vocals and the harmonies for the clean vocals, because yeah, that just takes time to figure out which lines are the best.
Yeah.
Right. So I wanted to ask you guys, how long have you been performing live?
With May the Tempest, or May the Tempest started in 2015.
2015, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so about 5 years.
Gotcha. And do each of
Something
you
like that.
have experience performing live prior to that point?
Yeah, we all played in other bands before that. I also was in a child's choir in the opera.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is? Oh, Chris, you go.
Well, I was just going to ask what the metalcore or punk scene is like in Munich.
It's small, pretty small. I think as soon as you start to play some shows in Munich, you know everyone who comes to the shows because it's that small.
Yeah.
For a city this size, that's too small, I'd say. But it's nice. It's like a big family, you know everyone, and you like everyone, or at least most of them. And you can go to a metalcore show in Munich, and you would know you will meet some people, and you can go there alone and still have fun with the people you meet. So that's nice.
Now, what would you say Germany's general attitude towards metal is? Is metal popular over there?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, if you, I don't know if you guys have heard of Wacken, but metal in general, they have this big, festival Wacken, which is in, northern Germany, really, really high up there. And it's huge. It's really, really huge. All the big bands come. It's not so much metalcore, but more, classic death metal, black metal, all that. So that scene really has grown over the years, and I think is still getting bigger. But also, the hardcore and punk stuff, I would even say has grown. We have some organizations, some web shops that were really niche when it all started out, like 15 years ago, and by now those are huge, and they have their own festivals, and so Germany is I think a good place to be in for metal or metalcore especially. But it depends on the city. We've been into cities where there is a lot of bands in our genre of music. In the town, which is way smaller, where I came from, has I think a scene that is comparable size to the one in Munich, but it's like 20 times as many people here. So as Luci said, compared to the people living here in Munich, it's really small. But Germany in general is a great place. There is a lot of great places to go to, and a lot of other bands to meet as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So you guys have been together for 5 years. You're putting these singles out. They look very professional. It seems like you guys have made a lot of progress. So my current question is, what are your current goals for the band? And I know that's vague, but if you guys have some concrete or vague idea of where May the Tempest is headed, let us know.
I mean, the main goal is finally releasing the album, because we worked so many years on it, and we just want it out. And then we had a pretty sweet tour planned last year, which got cancelled, of course. So that is one other main goal, to finally make a big tour with the music. And other than that, we know we will release more stuff this year. not only the album, but more singles. So we don't want to stop. We don't have an exact goal where what we want to reach. We just want to go on tour finally again.
Yeah.
And finally start writing or start recording new music.
Increasing the pace, I would say, is the main goal. It took us way too long to get to this album, and from what I'm feeling is that we learned a lot in the past few years, and we really amped up our game. Everything goes faster now. Our producer, he built this crazy studio, really beautiful with all the colors and the lighting, and is really proud of that. And the sound improved so much compared to the singles we put out like 4 or 5 years ago. So I think what we're trying to do is to get to new music faster, so we can play more new music live faster. And this is the direction we're heading. And from what I'm seeing, it's going really good so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we agree. It seems like all of your new music has done at least fairly well on YouTube. And I probably say part of your, professional approach to your single art, your music video you have, just everything looks very professional. I'm sure that has to do with the success. But do you guys have a specific approach to online marketing? Do you have one person in the band who kind of heads that on?
We do have a specific approach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting to know. We don't really have a approach. Like we don't know what we're doing, I'd say.
We're putting in way more work than before, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, mostly I draft some things and send it to our guitarist, and then he says yes, and then we post it.
Well, it's working for sure.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah. So we have a duo of questions that we always ask bands once we get to a certain point of the interview. The first of which is, what is the most challenging thing that you guys have faced as a band so far?
I think the transition from our lineup with the old singer to what we're now, that was I think the most challenging, because we all are really good friends, and then someone leaving the band when you're all good friends is bands are like a relationship. That's like ending that relationship, which is not really easy. So I think that's also one of the reasons why it took us so long to work on the album. That's for sure the most challenging thing.
Yeah. And now I'll allow Connor to ask the converse question.
Yes. So the converse to that question is, what has been the most meaningful thing that has happened to each of you being in this band over these years? Yeah, meaningful or just best, coolest thing that stands out in your mind of being in this band for the last 5 years?
Personally, for me, we recently got a comment on YouTube on one of our songs. Someone saying that he found his lights that he lost in the past years, and with this song he found it. So that's something that's I really enjoyed reading. That's pretty sweet to hear. But I think for the band, the best thing that happened was we toured with Miss May I in 2018 through the Baltic States, and that was a pretty cool experience.
That's awesome.
It was a crazy tour. Yeah, that also came to my mind right away. Because the Baltic States are a little ways from Munich, so we had to drive I think 24 hours straight coming back from Tallinn to Munich, and doing that with having just switched to Luci as our new singer, and then playing with for us a crazy huge band like Miss May I was challenging and the best experience ever. And I think we all I gained a lot of energy within this time to finally get started with making the album, and it still took 2 years to finally do it and get to the point where we can put it out.
It's almost 3 years now.
Almost 3, damn it, yeah. But that really gave us all a push, and I mean, we still had to find our way and find together again as a band. But that was was just a great tour. Put it that way.
I think one of the worst experiences we had as a band was also on this tour, or on the start of this tour, because we lost our merch before the tour even began. we couldn't sell anything. We couldn't get anything during the whole tour. That was pretty nasty.
We ordered new shirts, and someone, at least that's what we think happens. Someone put it out in front of the van at like 5 in the morning. Everyone was really tired. And then we didn't load it back in and left it where we started driving. And of course, when we came back, it wasn't there anymore. And we did not have any merch on the tour. There were so many people, and I was so happy, and everyone came by, and all we had was us.
We realized that after we already drove like 17 hours, and then the mood was I didn't want to know.
Somewhere
oh
in
my gosh.
or Eastern Poland. We just suddenly, you're looking for food in the back of the trunk, and you're like, where are the shirts?
That is tragic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Still had a good time though.
It's funny now, but back then it was like the dumbest thing we ever did.
Jeez.
All right, guys. So I think we've hit the point of the interview where if there's anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to plug, or anything that you want to ask us, feel free. Just go ahead.
I mean, you should definitely listen to our new single, Clouds. And of course, mark the March 19th in your calendar, because that's when our new album is coming out. So that's I think the main message.
Yeah. We'll put that info down in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, what I would like to say is a big thank you to you guys. I mean, you don't know this, but this is, I think, how many interviews did we do? For me, it's the second. I think you did like 1, 2 more. The funny thing is that you're not even from Europe. and that gets me every time. The last interview I did also was from with a guy from Connecticut, like snowed in last week. And he, he talked to us. Us being a small band from Germany, somehow we found together, and you're doing stuff for everyone out there, and we're connecting right across the globe, and through music, and that's the real beauty, I think. So that's what I wanted to say. Big thank you to you guys, and basically everyone that is in the scene. Is it putting out music, making music, performing live, doing what you guys do, bringing the scene together, because that's something we don't do. We're just making music, having fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, it absolutely blows our mind as well every time we talk to somebody around the globe. It really is a powerful experience. So thank you guys for coming on.
Oh, yeah,
thank you.
Of course. Yeah, thank you guys. Chris said it best. We enjoy talking to bands. We're just 2 guys who love metal, and we don't care who we talk to. And it's been shocking that we talk to people in Europe. I mean, you guys are literally 8 hours ahead of us, however many thousands of miles away, and we're connecting over something we all love, this community of metal that we all love and enjoy. And it's amazing.
Yeah. All right, guys. All right. Well, if there isn't anything else you want to bring up, I think that'll do it for today.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you too.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys. Keep us posted when that album comes out, March 19th.
Will do.
We will promote it.
We will.
Thanks. Nice.
All right. See you
Sounds
guys.
good. See you guys.
Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too.